Welcome back to Harbor Rock Wealth Management's Planning Tip of the Week. My name is Ruben Smith. This week we are going to discuss 5 common mistakes to avoid when it comes to maintaining good credit. Now, as we all know, maintaining good credit is important when it comes to financing our next big purchase, whether it's a car, a mortgage with a home. So maintaining good credit is imperative. So let's jump right into it. The first mistake we suggest you avoiding is not checking your credit. So there are plenty of opportunities out there now where you can look at your credit free without it being a ding or a check on your credit. And why you'd want to check your credit on a regular basis is it'll bring awareness. Okay, so it'll bring awareness to areas of improvement. Maybe you're carrying a balance on a higher interest credit card than you thought you were. And also it'll allow you to check for any potential errors. So whether you had a marked as a late payment, something that you could correct, or a charge off, or maybe there was a collections notification. So and checking your credit on a regular basis, I say at least annually, makes a lot of sense. And there are a couple of programs out there where you can do it. One of them is through a website called annualcreditreport.com. It's a free inquiry, doesn't cost you anything. And then there's also some credit monitoring services. So if your social is used for perhaps to open a new line of credit, you would be notified. And an organization that we refer often to or like to use personally is Credit Karma. So creditkarma.com, and that would be a good monitoring service, which is also free. The second mistake we encourage you to avoid, or is really a myth, is carrying a balance. So anytime you carry a balance on a line of credit, let's say a credit card, for instance, your credit utilization rate is increased. So what that means is the next time that you go to apply, when a lender is looking at your credit worthiness, it looks like you maintain a higher utilization rate, which could negatively impact the rate they give you or the approval. Okay, so the key here is that you want to be an active user of your lines of credit. So let's say a credit card again. You want to use those on a regular basis, but it's also better for you to pay those off and not maintain a balance and a revolving payment. It actually increases your score more than carrying a balance. So the third mistake we'd like you to avoid is missing payments, and it goes without saying. You don't miss your car payment, you don't miss your mortgage payment, you don't miss your credit card payment. I get it, but what's surprising here, and what a lot of consumers don't know, is that your payment history actually makes up 35% of your credit score. So yes, life happens. Things can come up where we either forget, maybe you had fraud on an account and you forgot to switch your how your accounts are linked for making payments. So it does happen, but just make sure you try to stay on top of that, because 35% is a huge impact to your overall credit score. The fourth mistake that we'd like you to avoid is closing your old lines of credit. Now, whether you're shopping for furniture, or at one point maybe you were traveling up to the Northwest a lot and you had a specific credit card, like the Alaska card, like I had when I was younger, you may not want to close those, especially if you've had them for a long amount of time. And the reason being is lenders are looking, and they like to see longer history with your specific lines of credit. So even though you feel like you may not need that line anytime soon, I would encourage you not to close it. It's not necessarily going to hurt you to keep that open. It actually looks worse if you start closing your older lines of credit. They like longer history with your specific lines. And then the fifth mistake we'd like you to avoid is trying to repair your credit, or repair your accounts, I should say, all at one time. And why I'm saying that is, let's say you go to annualcreditreport.com and you find that there's 3, 4, 5 areas that you want to improve. Instead of trying to repair them all at once and increase your payments, perhaps you're trying to lower your utilization rate, increasing your payments to all of them at once. It's better for you to start with the highest interest account first, knock that one out, and then move on to the next, and so forth. Otherwise, I feel like you're going to get discouraged, and I've heard it time and time again from clients where they just feel like they can't catch up. So simplify it, look at one account first, and then move on to the next. I hope this was helpful. These are questions that we receive all the time from clients as far as credit. If you have any questions or would like us to take a deeper dive on any of these topics, please let us know. We appreciate you tuning in. Bye-bye.